If you look closely in the center of the shot, you should be able to see the lift hill and part of the drop for Behemoth, a massive hypercoaster at Canada's Wonderland. And just to the right, barely in the picture, is Leviathan, an even taller roller coaster. And standing right here in the bus terminal is me, and today is Wednesday, April 9th. The time is 5:22 p.m. and I'm here at the Vaughan Mills shopping mall, and the temperature I think is around 3 degrees Celsius. It's a bit on the chilly side today. I just made a video coming up this way from the Vaughan City Center, the so-called downtown of this massive and sprawling suburb to the north of Toronto. And in this one, we're going to go for a walk through the Vaughan Mills Mall. And this is actually my first time ever coming here. I've been to pretty much every major mall in the Greater Toronto area, but this one, so we're going to go inside and have a look around. There's a York Region transit bus. This is a relatively new mall. It opened in 2004. I can't think of any newer major malls in the Greater Toronto area. I think it was the first major mall built this century in this part of the province. And it's surrounded by a lot of plazas. There you get a neat view. You can see, I wish I had a better zoom on this thing. You can see the lift hill for Leviathan on the right. A giga coaster at over 300 feet, and the hypercoaster Behemoth on the left and Drop Zone off in the distance. I'll have to go to Wonderland later this year when Alpine Fury opens up. I also haven't ridden Yukon Striker yet. And that is North America's busiest seasonal amusement park. And this is entry number 3. This mall is sandwiched between Jane Street and Highway 400. Got a number of notable big tenants, including Bass Pro Shops. There's a Nike factory store, a Saks off 5th, which will be closing at some point in June. And there's Pro Hockey Life, which I think we just saw in the parking lot. I'm pretty sure this mall is just one big loop. We are here. So if I go right, we will eventually circle back to this very spot. There's an event court that way, apparently. When this was built, I guess space wasn't at such a premium in this area. Hence the sprawling single floor design. Never even heard of this place. A big hockey superstore. Can't imagine there being too many stores like this down south. Toys R Us and a Babies R Us. I think the Babies R Us section is a big revenue generator for this chain. The markup on that stuff is insane. That's a chain you won't see too much of down south, I believe. I think this mall has something like 1.3 million square feet. The Shoe Company.
Yo, to be honest, I
think it is the largest shopping mall in York region. Cinnabon. I imagine there'll be a proper food court at some point. Cinnabon sure smells good. Assuming that's a homeware store right across from Home Sense. It's a Home Sense in Winners. I think I read there's something like 16 stores that would qualify as an anchor store in most malls in this particular mall. There's over 250 shops in total. Mr. Pretzels. Sometimes the challenge with recording a mall is not trying to backtrack too much. Malls like Square One and Yorkdale require some pre-planning before I record, but this one, just by virtue of it being a giant loop, kind of makes life easy on me. Welcome to Neighborhood 2. There's not a whole lot of stock left at Ricky's. There's like Craig's Cookies. That chain has blown up. It really has the vibe of an outlet mall with that kind of exposed ceiling. Certainly doesn't have that nice upscale feel you get at the other major malls in Toronto.
Okay, wait. If my dad says that, he'll drop you.
Old Navy outlet. I always wondered who wants to sit in a mall in front of a bunch of people and get a massage out in the open. It's one thing to sit there, but it's another thing to just be gyrating in front of a bunch of people. Bath and Body Works. I think we found the food court. Call it spring. Let's take a little detour around the food court. I'm assuming this might be smack in the middle of the mall. Mac Sushi. And this might be where I'm getting my dinner. I'm hoping to do a live stream right after this. They might be in need of a meal. They have all the usual suspects. New York fries, expensive juicery. All right, we'll be looping back to this side of the mall. Vaughan Mills, established 2004. And this is something a lot of malls have started doing, just having these sorting stations rather than have people empty out their trays and make a big mess over some garbage bins. You just bring your tray to the sorting station and someone takes care of that for you. They probably realized that involves less manpower. Also, people can be absolute pigs, just leaving their trays and garbage on their table and walking away. You really have no excuse to do that. You've got a place you can just deposit your tray. Plus having to do the garbage yourself. Always give people like that a dirty look. They just leave their stuff on the table in a fast food restaurant or food court. Although there are parts of the world where that's kind of normal. Urban Planet. Watch station. This mall is enormous. I thought that was a Trojan condom store at first glance, but that is not what that silhouette is. Calvin Klein, Bass Pro Shops, Saks Fifth Off Avenue, off Fifth. Well, I certainly failed on that read. And straight ahead, Mango, Abercrombie and Hollister. Remembers the days when they'd have a bunch of dudes without shirts on standing in front of these stores, and they'd be so poorly lit intentionally you couldn't see anything. And they would stink to high hell of perfume and cologne. Now it looks just kind of like a Gap. Speaking of, there's a sister store of the Gap, Banana Republic, Tip Top, Levi's. Most of the big brands are here. I'm a bit surprised there's no official Apple store. Gap factory store. Calvin Klein. Here's a store that's going to be picked clean. $20% off. How much? $89. wonder what's going to go in this spot. Haight Ashbury. Pickle Barrel, the one just north of Yonge and Dundas, and the Van Atrium closed a few years ago. Of course, there's a Timmy's. And here's the store that made big waves when this mall first opened. I think it was the first of its kind in the province. Pretty sure there's another Bass Pro Shops up near the Niagara outlets. The big pyramid in Memphis that was once an arena is turned into a Bass Pro Shops. And like this mall, I have never been into one of these. Got it looks like a little aquarium area. The store is massive. You could come make a video going through the store alone. Oh, it says mall checkouts this way. Thank you for shopping at Bass Pro Shops. You're welcome. They obviously took their American store and just slapped a Canadian theme pack on it. I think that's the second of these small Best Buys I've seen. The other one might have been a Best Buy Mobile. Under Armour, Kitchen Stuff Plus. There's something a little bit off about this mall. It doesn't quite feel like what you would expect a big major mall to feel like. Uniqlo, parking. There's a big plaza out that way, I think. one that has a can of computers in it. One thing that would really suck about this mall is if you were shopping with someone and you went to different places, you can end up being a good 15 minutes away from one another. Aritzia, Victoria's Secret, H&M, Legoland Discovery Center. It's odd to see outlet stores in the same mall as stores like this. I've heard this mall can get quite busy, but I think I came at a pretty good time crowd-wise. There's a Canadian success story, Aritzia. Back to the food court. So I think that's a little under 3/4 of the mall covered. Should have just done One thing I haven't seen is many security. I don't even think I've seen one security guard. Aldo, another Canadian chain you'll see pretty much everywhere you go on Earth. Hey, they've got the original Dippin' Dots. TV showcase. There's a store that's been around forever, Dynamite. space. Uncle Tetsu's. Those have exploded all over the place since that first one opened up in the city. That Bay in Dundas. Designer shoe warehouse. I guess this is a big hit for the kids. They've got rides in there. I don't think I've ever seen a Build-A-Bear workshop in person before. And a GameStop. What are they charging for a refurbished PS5? $521. I've got one. I don't really use anymore. I should probably sell it.
I cried.
One thing this mall does well is it has a lot of areas to just sit. Hot Topic. It's a store I learned about from South Park. Some interesting. All right, you get a Russ Jackson statue, former football player. Fergie Jenkins. I think the theme is these are Canadians. Who's this guy? Ted Kennedy. And that guy's a soccer player. Curious to hear what your thoughts are of this mall, and especially if you've ever been here. I just can't quite put my finger on it, but something just feels quite different. From what you'd expect from a major mall. A6 outlet. Welcome to Event Court. It's kind of got airport terminal vibes. Blaze Pizza. Puma Mountain Warehouse. Neighborhood 3, so I think I came in just up here on the right. Roots.
It's Tuesday and it's $1,400.
Is that where I wandered in? Yes, I recognize that. Szechuan. Well, there we go. Vaughan Mills Mall in most of its glory. I hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below if you wish to say thanks that way. Orange beef, 20 bucks. Looks good to me. Anyways, thanks for coming along with me. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay warm, stay safe. I don't know why I'm saying that in spring, but I will. Catch you on the next one. Yoink.